guys, I'm here with another video. It's actually a different type of video, and today I'm going to be taking you all along while I cook some dinner. I went somewhere and I had some seared duck and it was amazing. When I came home I was like, I gotta have it again. So instead of going out again and paying for it, I was like, I'm gonna try and make it at home myself. So that's what I'm going to be making. And I also thought it was good to post since Valentine's Day is coming up, and I thought, hey, this might actually be a good meal if you wanted to cook for your significant other or what have you. So I'm going to be doing some seared duck with some chard and mashed sweet potatoes, and I'm also going to be showing you how I did a dessert, which are mini cheesecake apple crisps. So yeah, stay tuned and I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Let's get started. So around Thanksgiving, I made sweet potato pie, and I was looking for an easier, less time consuming way to soften my sweet potatoes. So I found this recipe that allows you to put them in the air fryer, and so that's what you see me doing. I went ahead and cleaned them off, and then I'm gonna rub them down with some olive oil just to get them nice and soft, and my husband also told me to do it, so that's what I'm doing. Wrapping them up in aluminum foil, and then I'm going to place them in the air fryer, and I'm going to air fry them for 45 minutes on 400. So here I'm just getting my Swiss chard, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the stems off so I can clean it and, prep it to be cooked. Now moving on to the duck. So I have 4 duck breasts, and I went ahead and cleaned them off camera. Now I'm just dabbing them with a paper towel to dry them off some so they can be a little bit crispy. And what you're going to see me do in a minute is, you're not slicing all the way through, but you're going to slice that top part. That top part is fat, but it's going to crispy up once you sear it. And I'll show you throughout the later on in the video, but I'm not cutting through the breast. I'm just cutting that fat layer, and that's going to allow the heat to get in there and pretty much shrink up the fat when you're cooking it. This is my first time making duck, so these are just some things that I got off watching YouTube videos. So I'm just cutting it diagonally one way, turning the breast, and cutting it diagonally another way. Now I'm going to be seasoning my duck breast, and I really just use the seasonings that I felt like using. You can do the same. I'm using some garlic powder, some basil leaves, some pepper, some Creole seasoning, and I believe I said salt, a little bit of salt. So you can use whatever you want. I'm just making sure to season both sides, how I like it. So something important that I found with duck breasts is you want to make sure you start off with a cold pan, so a pan that hasn't been heated up, and you want to make sure you put them in there fat down, which is what I'm doing now because I had them on the wrong side. And I'm going to be adding some garlic cloves and some butter. You don't have to put it in yours. It was just my preference. Go ahead and I turned the eye on, I believe, like a medium-high heat, and I just let them cook for a few minutes, maybe about 5 minutes. And then I checked the fat side to see if it was the crispiness I wanted. And so that's what you're going to see here. So here you see that I'm checking the other side to see if it's the likeness that I want. And this is what I was talking about earlier when I said I would have cooked it a bit longer. So it wasn't, so I turned it back over to let it cook a bit more. When you're cooking it on the meat side, you don't need to leave it down, but for maybe like 30 seconds at the most. It just needs to get a little bit of heat. And once you're done and everything's at the likeness that you like, then you go ahead and put it in your oven. And I put it in my oven on 400 for about 10 minutes. And then you're going to let that sit. And while that's working on, I'm moving on to my cranberry sauce and my Swiss chard. I was not trying to make cranberry sauce from scratch. I've done it a couple times before, but just for this seared duck, I was like, I have some cranberry sauce in a can, and I'm just going to go ahead and use that. So I'm just heating that up, and then I'll move on to my Swiss chard. I'm actually using a slice of bacon to get some bacon grease. Honestly, y'all, I don't know why I did that. I'm using butter. I pretty much use butter in most of my dishes, like a tablespoon or so, just for extra taste. But I put a slice of bacon, and I'm not sure why I did that. Thinking right now, because I end up using the duck juices, so it was kind of like 2 for 2. It doesn't even matter because the Swiss chard was delicious. And here are the duck breasts. They're done in the oven, and so you can see they're not like crispy burnt, so they're not well done, but I'm letting those sit. I read that the key part is to just let them sit so that they can cook a little bit longer, and, you know, marinate, I guess. And back to my Swiss chard, I'm letting the bacon cook. I actually don't leave the bacon strip in there, but I just use it for the grease. And I'm adding the Swiss chard, and I'm just going to season it like I season any other vegetable that I like. So I'm just putting some salt, pepper, and some garlic powder and cooking that down. And you guys, the Swiss chard was so good. This was actually my first time having it at home because I had it at the restaurant. But yeah, it was so delicious. Here are my perfectly air-fried sweet potatoes that I'm going to turn into mashed potatoes. And in them, I just put about 1/4 cup of whole milk, 1/4 cup of melted butter. I eyed some parsley and ground cinnamon, and also a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. And then I just blended them up. And that's pretty much all you need to make mashed sweet potatoes. And they were really good, guys. Here's the final plate, guys. This was a finger licking good dinner for myself and my husband. Like, we both loved it. And that cranberry sauce was just a nice topping to the seared duck. So I ended up pairing it with a nice glass of wine, and it was just magnificent. So I hope you guys enjoyed the dinner recipe. Go ahead and give it a try and tell me if you like it or not. And stay tuned because we are not done. We are still going to make the dessert. Y'all, that looks so good. It reminded me of the taste. So for the mini apple crisp cheesecake, I'm just taking 6 tablespoons of butter and I'm going to melt it in the microwave. And whenever I'm baking, what I like to do if I need melted butter to add to an egg mixture or something, I like to go ahead and melt the butter before I do anything so that by the time I add it to the egg mixture, you know, it'll be cold and it won't cook the eggs at all. And so I have some cinnamon graham crackers and I'm going to take 7 whole graham crackers, so it'll be 14 of the small squares, and I'm just going to mush them up into crumb pieces.
I told myself that maybe he ain't worth it. Too bad I hate advice. 'Cause out of sight and out of mind is perfect. It's so hard to decide. Oh, I know he got me good in his pocket. I know that I'm just a treat. Well, the taste is better. At me like I know what he's thinking, but I don't have a clue. True talent in avoiding conversation, yeah, it's almost rather cruel. Oh, I know he got me good in his pocket. I know that I'm just a treat. Well, the taste is better. Oh, go on, showing my
to the liners, you're going to start with the crust, and on top of the crust, you're going to put the cheesecake filling. On top of that, you're going to sprinkle some of the chopped apples, and then for the final layer, you're going to top it off with the topping. Once you're all done with that, you're going to bake it in the oven on 325 for about 30 minutes. Or until the center is slightly jiggly. Not a lot, just a little bit. Once it's done in the oven, you're going to let it cool. Once it's done cooling, you're going to place it in the fridge for at least 2 hours. And once it's been there for at least 2 hours, they are good to eat. What I did, I added some more of the caramel sauce on top. And my husband really liked these. He ate most of them. So, yeah. I actually got this recipe from YouTube. So I am going to link the original down in the description box below. But yeah, go ahead and try the dinner recipe and or the dessert recipe, and let me know in the comments, you know, if you liked them or if you didn't. Also, leave a comment and let me know what your favorite dinner recipe is or your favorite dessert is. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making this dinner and dessert. And again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Alright guys, bye!
I watch you as you sleep. You don't know